You should be on the second line. The first line should already be filled in. So copy down this example right here. A to the 4 to the 3rd with the parentheses. This is a different rule. On the second line, what this means is that you have something to the 3rd. Whatever's in those parentheses is being raised to the power of 3. So we have 3 of them. This times this times this. Write that out. There's 3 parentheses being multiplied by itself.
Yes, on the second line.
What is inside each of those parentheses? A to the 4th. Good. So it's A to the 4th times itself. A to the 4th times itself. A to the 4th. There's 3 of those being multiplied. Now, A to the 4th means A times A times A times A. Good. How many is that going to end up being? 12. Good. You could if we weren't explaining the reason for the rule. So follow what I'm doing, please. So that means A to the 12. Now, in reality, what did you do? Yeah, but what operation did you do? Multiply. Good. So write this down and notice the difference between the top one and this one. The rule is that when you have one variable with 2 exponents, that's when you multiply. Okay, one base with 2 exponents on it means you multiply. If you look at the one above that, there was 2 variables and they each have their own exponent. That's the time when you add them. You have to know the difference. An A to the negative 5 is not negative. A negative exponent makes the whole thing move. So if you have A to the negative 5, you write that as A to the positive 5 on the bottom of your fraction. The rule here is anytime you have a negative exponent, it means you have to move it. You do not turn it into a negative. If it's already on the bottom, you move it to the top. If it's already on the top, you move it to the bottom. Does anybody remember this one? That one?
Yeah.
Good. Anything to the power of 0 will always equal 1. Alright, so the rule is anything raised to the power of 0 is always, always, always 1. And that rule applies to whatever's touching the 0. In this case, the letter A is touching the 0. Sometimes it's parentheses touching the 0. Then everything that was inside those parentheses automatically becomes a 1. It's whatever it's touching that becomes a 1. So you have this rule written down. It's the power of a power raised to another power. If you have one variable, one base, but 2 exponents, you multiply those exponents together. So for example, 1p, you know what? Just don't write this down right now. Which one of these, here say you have p to the 4th to the 4th, and then say you have p to the 4th times p to the 4th. Which one would be p to the 16th? The left one. That's when you multiply. What would this one become? Even though they both are 4. Okay? That's different. When there's 2 separate ones, you add them together. When there's only one and all the exponents are piled on top of that one letter, that's when you multiply them together. So right here, p to the 4th would be p to the 16th. N to the negative 2 to the 3. Everything's piled on top of that one n. So, good. That's right. The directions are specific. They say use positive exponents only. If the directions don't say that, you could leave it right like this. But when the directions say that, you have to turn it into a positive 6. You have to move that down here. And when there's nothing else on top, you fill it in with a 1. I'll show you this one. What would this one be? X to the what? You need to, anytime you see a negative exponent and you're trying to write it in positive exponents, you need to automatically move that whole thing down to the bottom of the fraction. That's like X. Yeah, when it becomes positive, it turns into a fraction. That's what Alright, we'll practice that some more. Stay focused. B to the what? Negative 12. That would be okay. Except for our directions said make it positive. So it would be 1 over b to the positive 12. Eventually, this chapter, we're going to have to be adding fractions, which takes a little bit more work. This means multiply. There's one x, but there's two powers on it. So watch what this means. It means x to the 1/3, and I'm multiplying the power, so I say times 3 to the 4th. If you write it this way, it's a lot easier to see. No, because actually the 3's can cancel, right?
Oh.
So it's even easier. Okay, so it's the same as numbers. You multiply the two powers together and you do what you can. The 3 can cancel with the 3. So all we really have to be left with is x to the what's on top. What's on top? And the bottom is, okay, don't write this down.
Whatever cancels out, Mr. Master.
Yeah, when one's on top and one's on bottom and you're multiplying, they cross cancel. You don't have to write this, but just remember from yesterday, that would really mean the 4th root of x. Okay? Both of those are the same thing. How do you write it? Depends on the directions. What the directions say. This one's easier. There's a 1/2 right there. So it's going to be r to the 2nd times 1/2. You're just multiplying those exponents. You can take this 2 and you make it over 1. So then what ends up happening? That's right. Those cross cancel. You got r to the 1st.
And you just get one whole.
One r. One whole r. Yep.
I don't get the
R to the 1st or r.
So R to the 1st and R are basically the same thing.
Exact same thing. Yep. This one. N. So n to the 5/4 times -2/1. You just take these two fractions and you multiply them because they're on the same power. Alright, something doesn't cancel completely, but it reduces. This becomes a -1, and this becomes a what? 2. You reduce your fractions. Good. Doesn't get a little bit harder. So now all you do is multiply across. 5 times -1, -5. On the bottom, 2 times 1 is 2. That's a negative exponent. The top said to write positive exponents. So make a fraction. Take this whole entire thing and move it down. N to the 5/2. And a 1 goes on top. Last one is easier. B to the what? 2/1 times. Good. So that one just becomes what? Yeah. There's nothing that cancels or reduces. So 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay? So what do? Still, do your multiplications or your parentheses first, and then do your adding. So this goes first. X to the 9 times x by itself.
So x to 10.
This one's multiplying because it's on the same x. Turn around, please. This one's adding. What did you say? 19. M to the what?
9.
Wait, Mr. Ramsey, if you're multiplying 9 times 1, anything times 1 is 9. Right?
1 second. Let me finish this and I'll go back to that. And then this is m to the what? Okay. Now what do we do right here? Because it's not a power raised to another power. They're side by side. That's when you add, because they're separate from each other. 20 minus 6 is 14. And that's the same thing that you are asking about. This is not a multiplication problem anymore. You have x to the 9 times x to the 1st means you add 9 plus 1. They're not the same as this. Because these ones are separate, you add the exponents. Okay, so that's the trick, is to know the difference between when to add or when to multiply. Here, n to the 0 is 1.
End of the 2.
Nope. 0 times 2 is 0. N to the 0 is 1. You want to do it that way? Either way. What's 1 squared? 1. Okay, so that one's gone. If you do it that way, just hold on to this. If you make it n to the 0, 0 times 2 is 0, it's still going to be 1. So either way you do it, it's going to be 1 right there. Times. This is 1/4. So we have to say n to the 2/1 times 1/4. Okay, some of you cross cancel that, some of you multiply it and then reduce it. What do we get?
1/2.
1/2, that's right. Okay, some people will reduce it like this. Some people will make it 2/4 and reduce it at the end. Either way. This could also be called the square root of n. The last one, n to the -3/1 times -1/6. And then we have times n to the 5/2.
3 and then 6.
What does it become? 1/2. Good. Okay, some of you are cross-canceling. Some of you are making it 3/6 and then reducing. It comes to 1/2. And don't forget, a negative times a negative is positive. So now we don't have to worry about negatives anymore. Times n to the 5/2. Now look at this. Do I add these exponents or multiply them? Because they're two separate n's. That's when you add them. So you keep the denominator 2, you add the numerator,
So, and 6.
6, and it reduces to
3.
just 3, right? 3/1, so n to the 3rd.
I'm surprised.
How do you know when to add and when to multiply? Look at these
What the
formulas.
parentheses?
Parentheses is like 95% of the time right. It's not all the time. You might sometimes, what if someone wrote it like this? That still means times, doesn't it? You wouldn't multiply those, do you?
No.
When there's 2. Good. When there's 2 separate problems, 2 separate variables, x to the 5th and x to the 7th, that's when you add. When there's only one x and both of those exponents are on the x at the same time, that's when you multiply. So
when
this
you add it, when there's no parentheses, you add.
No, don't rely on the parentheses rule. Because from now on, as we get into more complicated problems, they will still be put in parentheses, even when it doesn't mean multiply. It's when there's a separate x with an exponent and a separate x with an exponent.
Oh, okay.
But this one, see how there was only one x?
When there's one x, you multiply. When there's two x's, you add.
When there's one x, you multiply as long as both of those powers are on the same x. Yep, that's when you multiply. So you get x to the 35th, and this one would be x to the 12th. So very quickly, out loud. Here, so that'll take too long. Okay, add or multiply. Add. What do we get? 8 to the 5th.
Wait.
Good.
Mr. Ben. Oh, because that
They're
one's
two
just a
separate.
one.
That's right.
Imaginary one.
Imaginary one. This one, do we add the exponents or multiply? Just the exponents.
Multiply.
Add them. Because they're all separate. 7 plus 1 plus 5 to the 13th. This one, do we add them or multiply? Multiply. And becomes n to the 15th. Okay. This is really important, guys. Your homework, your classwork today is only multiplying, but your homework is all these different kind of problems mixed together. Okay, so do we add or multiply? Multiply.
X is 6.
X to the 6. Good. Do we add or multiply?
Add.
Add. B to the what?
10.
10, and there's a 7 in front. Good. Last one, do we add or multiply?
Add. 10.
X to the?
10.
Okay. So your homework tonight is the simpler one. Your homework is going to be just like this. Decide if you add or multiply, and then write what the result will be. But before you get to that, I want to just get you some good practice with this. So take out your Chromebooks, do this, log on so you get your score, and then work on your homework.